We have a question from Tom Mansour, who's one of our most loyal listeners. Thank you, Tom, for being a supporter of this pod. Tom is asking, do you think Bayern intentionally leaked the sacking of Nagelsmann a day early? And if not, shouldn't they be very concerned they have a mole at the highest level? Okay. I don't think Bayern leaked the story early. I think they were very embarrassed by the story coming out because they hadn't been able to phone Nagelsmann and actually tell him, because the moment Tuchel said yes was supposed to be the moment that Bayern called Nagelsmann, but there was a delay between somebody finding out and Bayern calling Nagelsmann. So Nagelsmann was really surprised to read about this news, which is not great for a club like Bayern, who always want to be seen to be very serious and doing things in the proper manner and having that family vibe and so on. So this was very awkward for them. And as Hassan Salihamidzic said on the press conference and then later in an interview as well, he feels that the story was leaked from a third party or from the other side, he said. Now, I don't want to be speculating too much because I don't have the hard evidence, but what tends to happen in these cases is that it's not the two parties involved, so Tuchel and Bayern, they don't tend to leak these things. It's somebody who is perhaps involved when it comes to another club being interested, who hears about the fact that Tuchel has already said yes to Bayern, or people in that kind of vicinity who then find out and they don't care about leaking or not because they're not directly involved. So I think that's what happened when Pep Guardiola's signing was leaked, ahead of Bayern confirming it and ahead of, I think, even Heinkes knowing it. And I think a similar story happened here. Bayern should still be concerned, of course, because it doesn't reflect well on them and they have moles all the time. Recently, even sending Sportbild some of Tuchel's, I said Tuchel already, some of Nagelsmann's tactical diagrams. But it's almost inevitable. That's, I guess, Christoph, I don't know how you see it, but I think that is kind of the logical downside of having a club organized along democratic structures with lots of different people involved inside the organization, that you have a supervisory board who have to be told when there's a big move happening, and then you have a sporting director, you have a president, you have a CEO. So there's a lot of people and each one of them comes with 5 or 6 close people around them. So in the end, you'll have like 50 people knowing about things like that, and it's almost inevitable that stuff leaks.
Yeah, and I think also in other clubs, I mean, it's not exclusively to membership-owned clubs that probably have a supervisory board more than a club that is a company, but there are so many people involved nowadays. So all along the way, and there is a huge international network. So, for example, when maybe these days Tottenham was approaching Tuchel again, and then someone was saying, no, don't waste your time on him. He has already found an agreement with Bayern or something like this. And someone from Tottenham is like, oh shit, and so the thing is can be around fast. So, and it's a far cry from things in the past when coaches were watching video text to find out that they were sacked. I mean, that's not what's happening nowadays again.